So you believe then that the green industries will be the growth industries of the immediate future?
It's not only green, it's innovation. It could be stem cell research, nanotechnology, growth industries where you can create demand. Now, the other problem with the TARP is how much of that is going to stimulate the economy. If I understand correctly, they're talking about $250 billion for small businesses. Now, if the small businesses generate about 70% of the new jobs, and they're getting about 30% of the TARP money compared to the big businesses, then I think it's going to be like a drop in a pocket. It's not going to help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you said, though, that you feel like that neither party has any real plan for solution. Among the polls for independent thinkers, the independents that everybody's going after now, a lot of people are actually putting the blame, unjustifiably so, but putting a lot of the blame on the Obama administration because it is feeling that they're more concerned about inaction. They're more concerned about the government sort of grinding to a halt. How does this lack of confidence generate itself in terms of real numbers in the economy?
Obama's policies are not much different than Bush's policies.
In what way? Specific.
The bailout started during Bush administration. Listen to both parties. They're more or less talking the same thing. So conservatives are talking about small businesses, and now Obama is talking about small businesses. If you looked at the campaign of McCain and Obama, they're more or less the same. Here's the problem. It's self-denial and the finding of solutions to fulfill ideological principles rather than being practical. In 2007 and 2008, the solution could have been very simple, effective, and quick. Rather than bailing out the failed... Yeah.
Go ahead. What would that have been? Continue.
Rather than bailing out the failed businesses and the banks or buying the bad assets, instead, the government could have created something called the good bank. So, remember they talked about the bad bank and bailing all the assets?
Correct.
They could have created, with the same money, with the same top money, they could have created a government-owned bank and used the bailout money to offer direct, low-cost loans to homeowners and small businesses, and large businesses for that matter. This would have stabilized the housing market and the prices, and that could have solved the problem. What's going to happen, Gary, is that financial industry is going to be hurt. But guess what? They made the investment and they lost. What you're going to do is you're going to remove the middleman, and the financial industry is not a real production industry. The banks who took risk fail, let them go away, and the healthy banks can take over the services. It's as simple as that. Now, the other problem we're facing, to be practical, just cutting costs or taking care of social problems, whether it's healthcare or anything for that matter, is not the solution. What took us out of World War II was the auto industry. The recession after World War II was the auto industry. What took us out of the recession in the 1970s from the financial collapse was the IT industry. And the only way we can get out of this crisis is a new industry, and for the government to invest in innovation development and enterprise creation. And that new industry could be alternative energy, stem cell research, but the policies of tax cuts or tax raises or regulation or lack of it, they help or hinder, but the solution out of this crisis is in the emergence of a new industry, period.
Doctor, the president just came back from China, and on this trip there was a great deal of discussion about how much debt the United States has as a government. How does that trickle down to John and JQ Public on the street, especially to poor communities across the country?
Before I answer that, I would like to just make a couple of brief comments about the previous discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I don't think that the Bush administration would have made the same proposals that the Obama administration has made with regard to the Stimulus and Recovery Act. There's nothing in what the Bush administration did during their time in office that would suggest that they would have put together the second piece, the stimulus package. This is not about the TARP and about bailing out banks, but the part that has a public works focus that is about trying to get money back into the economy. For whether you agree or disagree about whether it's the right move or not, it's certainly different from what the Bush administration would have done.